$3,000. Now, this personal loan could be used for absolutely anything, whether it was a kitchen remodel, which I am working on. You could use it for school. You can probably party with the money, buy a bunch of purses, anything you want with that personal loan from Citibank, and no collateral is required. Now, Citibank reached out to me and pre-approved me, so I did not ask for this. There's no collateral that's needed. This is just built off of a relationship that I've had with them for over 5 years. Now, when I did get started with them, I probably have about a 780 credit score, and that was because I knew I wanted to buy property. Now, in between that time, my score fluctuated, and earlier this year, I had a low score. Probably had, I don't know, maybe like 715 or 684. I'll have to check and I'll show you, but I did get a bump up in income, so my score went up dramatically. Now, when my score went up dramatically, that's when the offers started rolling in. I never asked for them. It's just credit companies can see when you're stronger financially, and that's when the offers start rolling in, because they want you to trip up on lifestyle creep. Now, lifestyle creep is when you start making more. Typically, Americans start spending more, so that's when the offers that you never asked for start coming out of the woodwork. Now, one important thing I'll say about credit card companies is that they like to give you money when you don't need it. When you need it, they don't want to give it to you. Always keep that in mind. When you need it, they don't want to give it to you. And that's just life. It's like, why do celebrities get free food? They already have money. That's just the way it works in America. When you have it, the more you get. When you don't have it, nobody wants to help you, so don't ever forget that. And the other key thing I wanted to let you guys know is that the relationship I had with Citibank for over 5 years, I never missed a payment. I was always early. I always paid extra. I always made those banks the priority, because I knew that there's going to be times in your life where, at least for me, even if you don't have the income, if you have the credit, sometimes that credit is better, or it matches up with that income, if that makes sense. In America, there's certain opportunities that you might want to capitalize on, but you don't have the income. But if you have the credit and you feel like it's worth it, or it could be an asset, you can use that credit to level up. And that's how sometimes people that may be immigrants, they come here to America. You can come here with nothing, but with that good credit, if you're smart, you can build off of that, whether it's with property, assets that continue to make money, etc. All right, so back to that Citibank personal loan. I had the Citibank credit card, and I think my initial credit line might have been like 8,000. Eventually it went up to 10, and very quickly it was up to 15, which is okay in my book. But that's where I started with Citi. You know, I took them very seriously. I built up my credit line prior to 2020 because I know how banks are. So when times were good, I built up my credit line very high. That's what you want to do. It's a lot tougher as time goes on due to people doing weird stuff, fraud. It's just banking just changes dramatically. Even with getting a mortgage, it's a lot tougher. So the quicker you work on building those credit lines and those solid relationships with those banks, the better off you are. You definitely want to turn on auto payment on those cards from the start, so you never pay it. Make sure those banks get paid, because when you need them, they won't help you if you did not foster those relationships. Now, the other key thing is to foster relationships with the right banks, okay? I've had this is actually an old Delta Reserve card. They don't even make this color anymore. But I always make sure to build relationships with the right banks that I know will extend me those credit lines and offers, okay? Hopefully this helped. I do recommend the Citibank personal loan, depending on what you're using it for. Now, one thing to understand is that they're very flexible on your paying it back. You can pay it back in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You can pay it back tomorrow, zero penalty at all. but there is an interest rate for the more money you use, and the interest rate does go higher the longer the payment term is. So if you're trying to consolidate some of your debt, I think it's advantageous. The only thing better I could see is a 0% offer, but then 0% sometimes they only give you like 12 to 24 months. With the Citibank personal loan, with this personal loan, I have the option to do 60 months to pay it back. Now, everybody's lifestyle and whatever they've got going on is a lot different, but with that 60-month payback option, that you might pay it back in 2 years, or you might get an amazing job and pay it back in 3 months. But just that infusion of cash to make something happen, like maybe if you flip homes or you do renovations, that infusion of cash might help to propel you. So personal loans are not bad if you know what you're doing and if you're using it for an asset, not a liability. Don't use it to buy a rare Birkin bag. That's a very risky kind of thing to do. Unless you make a high income and you can pay it back ASAP, by all means, do you, but you want to be extremely smart if you're given the opportunity to have a personal payment loan and no collateral whatsoever. So hopefully this helped you. I'll show you what I did actually end up using it for, and this is completely real. I don't want you to think this is fake. Yeah, hopefully this helps you if you're trying to get a personal loan or want to have those options in the future. And like I said, when I got this loan, my credit score was 764, which is pretty good, I guess. The most I've ever had was 780. My goal is 800. Hopefully by the time one of you out in internet land is watching this, I'll be at 800. But the key is to just make sure you stay on top of your payments. Don't miss for nothing. Make sure they're paid first. And try to use your card for assets, or finesse that card, use it for points, pay it back, and don't accrue interest. And the last piece of advice as far as getting high credit lines is to act as if. There's a speech with Ben Affleck in the movie Boiler Room where he's talking to the young stockbrokers and he's telling them, you guys need to act as if. I'll put the link in the description, but have standards. Even when I was making nothing, this might sound funny, but I acted like I was a Caucasian man and I had standards. If you didn't offer me a card at least 8 to 10K or more, I didn't want to foster that relationship. I really didn't care. If you gave me 5, I'm going for 8. If you gave me 8K, 6 months later, they were giving me 10, 15, 20, 27. So act as if, have standards. Don't take those janky cards like, I'm not trying to be shady or down anybody that has this card, but like Credit One, if it's not a major credit card company like Chase, Cap One, Citi, Bank of America, don't take that credit card offer, and do not take store credit cards. It's a trap. They want you to spend more money at Macy's. That's the worst Amex card of all time, okay? That's just my opinion. How are you going to build wealth shopping at Macy's? I don't know. I don't know. I hope all this helps. I hope I'm not just rambling off here. I feel like I'm really dropping jewels. So share this video with a friend and stay on top of your credit, especially if you're a minority. There's nothing better than when they pull your credit score and they're anticipating you not having great credit, and then you do. It's like you're a unicorn, So that's something I pride myself on. Also too, if you're a female, and if you're a female minority, there's nothing better than having phenomenal credit, okay? So keep that in mind. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and share with a friend. And if you have low or bad credit, fear not. I had the worst credit ever, so that's why now I work so hard at keeping it up. One thing I did use when the credit starts, what's that word? I can't think of it. When you have collections, I did use Lexington Law, and they did help me. This is not a plug, they don't pay me, but I use Lexington Law, and I use their little text the paralegal, and they sent off papers and took care of that. But ever since then, I've taken care of my credit. So if you have bad credit, hopefully this motivates you to have good credit so you get offers like personal loans when you don't even need them, okay? All right, have a great day and keep that credit clean, because at some point, it's gonna help to have those banks on your side. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.